The movie opens in Los Angeles at night. A man cuts through a chain-link fence when a security guard pulls up. The man, Louis Bloom, calmly chats with the guard, then suddenly attacks him, steals his watch, and drives away as if nothing happened. Later, Lou brings the stolen fence wire and other scrap metal to a junkyard to sell. He casually asks for a job, but the foreman refuses and bluntly tells him they don't hire thieves. Lou just laughs, unfazed, and walks off. While driving on the freeway, Lou notices a crashed car with 2 police officers trying to rescue a woman trapped inside. Minutes later, a news van arrives and 2 cameramen, Joe and Marcus, rush to film the scene. And when they're done, Lou approaches Joe, asking which channel he works for. Joe explains that he sells his footage to whatever station pays the most. Lou, intrigued, tries to learn more, but Joe receives a call about another incident and speeds off. Back home, Lou can't stop thinking about what he witnessed. He flips through TV channels until he finally sees the accident footage on the news. Inspired, the next day Lou steals a road bike and trades it at a pawn shop for a camcorder and a police scanner. That night, he waits in Lewis Park, listening to the scanner. When suddenly a call comes through, he races to the scene of a violent carjacking. A man is severely injured on the ground. Lou films everything up close, getting so intrusive that police push away the other cameraman, which made Joe furious and he starts scolding him for interfering. Lou takes the footage to KWLA, a local news station, and shows it to the news director, Nina, and her assistant, Frank. Nina, impressed by the footage, pays him $250 and tells him there are no jobs available, only the opportunity to keep bringing her more footage. She advises him to invest in better equipment and adds that the most valuable videos are those where a wealthy white victim is attacked. Lou goes home thrilled as he watches his footage broadcast for the first time. The next morning, Lou waits at a diner to interview someone for a job. He meets Rick, a young homeless man willing to take anything, and Lou hires him as an assistant for $30 a night. The same night, the two drive around listening to the police scanner while Rick gives directions, but Lou's reckless speeding makes Rick nervous and causes him to give incorrect directions, which made them arrive at the scene 5 minutes late, after another cameraman has already captured the footage and the victim has been taken by ambulance. Lou, furious, starts scolding Rick for his mistake. Moments later, they catch another call, a home invasion robbery. Nothing major seems filmable, so while police are distracted, Lou sneaks inside. He photographs bullet holes in the refrigerator, stages family photos to include them in the shots, and secretly records the traumatized couple speaking with officers afterward. Lou brings the material to Nina, who is again impressed with the raw, emotional coverage. Although another staff member objects, calling it trespassing, Nina dismisses the concern. And over the following days, Lou and Rick film increasingly graphic crime scenes, and Lou's income grows rapidly as his footage becomes the station's most compelling content. Lou invests his growing earnings into better equipment and a faster car, determined to outperform every other cameraman in Los Angeles. One night, he stops at a car accident and quietly films the injured driver while he's distracted. In the distance, Lou spots a dead body. He drags the corpse into the headlights so the shot is perfectly lit, then records it without hesitation. When he brings the footage to Nina, she is once again thrilled, especially after learning the station's payment system has delayed his last check. Sensing his rising value, Lou asks Nina out on a date. She turns him down, insisting they stay professional. Yet in the next scene, they are already seated at dinner. Lou bluntly asks her to be his lover, but Nina insists she is only there out of courtesy. Lou coldly reminds her that her station had the lowest ratings before he arrived, and warns that if she refuses him, he will stop providing footage. Cornered, Nina reluctantly gives in. The next day, a plane crashes near the area. Lou rushes to the scene, only to discover another crew has already captured the exclusive shots. He films whatever scraps he can and presents them to Nina, but she explodes in anger, accusing him of failing to deliver. Back home, Lou spirals, screaming at his reflection and smashing the mirror in frustration. Later, he sees on the news that Joe, his rival, recorded the plane crash first. Enraged, Lou drives to Joe's house and secretly sabotages the brakes on his van. The next morning, Joe leaves for work and crashes violently. Lou and Rick arrive moments later, and Lou starts filming Joe choking to death, while Rick watches in shock. Rick begs him to stop, but Lou coldly insists they're just doing their job. Days later, Lou hears a report on the police scanner about a shooting in an upscale neighborhood. He speeds to the scene and arrives before the police. He films 2 armed criminals fleeing the house in their car. Then he enters the home. Inside, he finds multiple victims, all murdered. Lou records everything with obsessive precision. Slow pans, close-ups, dramatic angles. In a baby's room, he films an empty crib, knowing it will stir fear among viewers. Then he spots a survivor, barely hanging on. But Lou films the dying man instead of helping him until he hears police approaching and escapes just in time. At the TV station, Nina is stunned by the footage. Another employee argues it's unethical and possibly illegal to air, but Nina dismisses him. Lou demands $15,000. When she agrees, he pushes further. No more negotiating. His company name, Video Production News, must appear on screen during broadcasts, and she must introduce him to her superiors as the station's key contributor. Though confused, Nina accepts. Ratings matter more than ethics. The next morning, Lou watches his footage play on TV with satisfaction. Then detectives knock on his door. Suspicious, they ask for a copy of the video, but Lou simply hands them an edited version, cutting out the criminals escaping the house. He claims he only saw them briefly and didn't get clear footage. After they leave, Lou searches the criminals' license plate online, finds their address, and decides to take action. That night, Lou and Rick drive to the suspect's neighborhood. Lou explains his plan. They will locate the killers, secretly follow them, and stage a dramatic police confrontation to film an exclusive arrest. Horrified, Rick finally speaks up. He refuses to risk his life, and he complains that Lou has been paying him only $30 a night for months. He demands an extra $75 per night, threatening to report Lou to the police if he refuses. Backed into a corner, Lou reluctantly agrees. Moments later, they see the two criminals leaving their house, and Lou decides to follow them. The suspects eventually park near a quiet restaurant, and Lou immediately calls the police, reporting that two armed men are inside, and emphasizes that they are the same criminals responsible for the massacre the night before. Lou and Rick wait outside, cameras ready, poised to film whatever comes next. Eventually, the police swarm the area, and what should have been a simple arrest erupts into a violent shootout, and two innocent bystanders are killed. One of the suspects dies at the scene, while the other flees in his car. Lou rushes back to his vehicle and speeds after the chase, with Rick filming every second from the passenger seat. Minutes later, the suspect crashes, flipping his car onto the pavement. Lou parks close, jumps out, and starts filming the carnage. Then he calls Rick over, assuring him the suspect is dead. Rick, hesitant but trusting, walks toward the wreck, only to lock eyes with the man who is still alive. And before Rick can react, the suspect shoots him twice while Lou steps back and continues recording. And as the criminal attempts to escape yet again, the police officers kill him. Rick collapses on the ground, bleeding heavily. Lou kneels beside him, not to help, but to get a better shot. In a chilling confession, he tells Rick he allowed this to happen because Rick tried to blackmail him, and he knew Rick's demands would only grow. Struggling to breathe, Rick whispers that he was bluffing. He never planned to go through with the threat. Lou keeps the camera fixed on his dying face until Rick's breathing stops. Later that night, Lou brings the footage to Nina. The newsroom is horrified, but Nina prepares anyways to air it immediately. Detectives soon arrive, demanding the footage as evidence, but Nina refuses, claiming the material belongs to the station. Lou is brought to the police station for questioning. The detective confronts him, accusing him of withholding information, endangering lives, and letting his own assistant die while he filmed it. But Lou calmly denies everything, claiming that the criminals were chasing him and Rick's death was an accident. When the detective calls him a monster, Lou simply watches her in silence, offering nothing but a faint, calculated smile. And with no solid proof tying him to any crime, the police are forced to let him go. In the final scene, Lou stands proudly beside two brand new company vans. He has expanded his operation and hired 3 new interns. He tells them they won't be paid at first, but reassures them they will learn valuable career skills. And with a cold, confident smile, he promises he will never ask them to do anything he wouldn't do himself. And the screen cuts to black. The movie ends. If you enjoyed this recap of Nightcrawler, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to catch all our upcoming movie summaries. See you soon!